Do you ever struggle to collect data from Tier 1 and Tier 2 intervention in a meaningful way? Today, we're going to be sharing our simple strategy for easily collecting data across the 5 core components of reading plus writing. Hi, I'm Laura from Ascend Smart Intervention, where we make research-based reading instruction easy and accessible. Today, we're going to be sharing our data tracking tools and process, so be sure to stick around to learn how to use these tools effectively to skyrocket your reading instruction. First things first, all of our students are different. They have different areas of need and different areas of strength, and it's super important that we spend the time to collect the data needed to identify skill gaps. That will help to drive our instruction and will help us to know where we should be spending the most time for our instruction and intervention. We like to use what we call Fast 5 units to easily collect data across the 5 core components of reading plus writing. In these units, we begin with a 10-part phonological awareness drill so that we can collect data on areas such as blending, segmenting, and auditory discrimination. We use our data tracking sheet to help us keep track of students' responses. We mark a plus for any answer that a student gets correct, and we mark a minus for any answer a student gets incorrect. Next, we have our students move on to a word reading activity. Our word lists are sorted into rows based on syllable type, so we can determine what types of syllables students are struggling with. Again, we use our data tracking sheet to keep track of student answers. We mark a plus for words they read correctly and a minus for words they read incorrectly. Then we divide the number of words read correctly by the number of words read in total to get a percentage of accuracy. Next, we're going to move on to vocabulary. So we have a few words that we picked from the passage, and we're going to ask our students to identify the part of speech, a category, a function or purpose, and a synonym and an antonym. Again, just marking on that data tracking sheet plus or minus so we can track students' abilities in vocabulary. From there, we're going to move on to fluency, and we'll begin with fluency at the sentence level. So fluency at the sentence level looks like having students identify the subject, the who or what of the sentence, the predicate, the did what of the sentence, and then that adverbial phrase, that when, where, why, or how. After they finish with their sentences, students can begin reading the passage. We set a timer for 1 minute, and within that minute, we track how many errors the student makes. And once we have that number, we can go ahead and use it to calculate both rate and accuracy. Once students finish reading the passage, we move on to comprehension. And within comprehension, we measure different skills, including vocabulary and context, direct recall, sequencing, main idea, compare and contrast, cause and effect, inferences and predictions, and finally, author's purpose or text structure. Once students have completed their comprehension questions, we're going to move on to writing. And we always begin writing with spelling. So we pick a few words from the word reading activity, and we use those words for spelling as well. And so we have students practice spelling a few of those words, and we keep track of which ones they're spelling correctly and incorrectly on our data tracking sheet with those pluses or minuses. And then we use those to create a total number of words spelled correctly out of total number of words spelled. Next, we're going to move on to either sentence level writing or paragraph level writing. And we'll use that data tracking sheet again to just document students' abilities within those areas. Now that we've collected all that data, we can go ahead and take the information on our data tracking sheet and put it into our data tracking spreadsheet. This is a great opportunity for us to visualize areas of need and areas of growth for each of our students. And this will help us to also target our instruction to those areas of need in the future. I'm going to go ahead and link a blog with this process, as well as our free data tracking spreadsheet and one of our favorite Fast 5 units about polar bears. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to be the first to know when we post new videos with resources, tips, and tricks that we use with our students.